Have you ever noticed something strange about yourself? You know what to say, you even rehearse it in your head, but the moment it's your turn to speak, your throat tightens, your thoughts scatter, and your voice suddenly feels weaker than it should. Later, when the moment is gone, you replay the conversation and think, I should have said this, I could have explained that better, I sounded stupid. And the worst part isn't that you didn't speak well, it's the feeling that follows, the feeling that something is wrong with you. You start believing you lack communication skills, that you're not confident, that you're not a good speaker. But here's the truth most people never hear. Your problem is not communication. Your problem is what your brain believes speaking will cost you. Communication is not a skill first, it's a psychological risk. Because from your brain's point of view, speaking means exposure. Exposure means judgment, and judgment means danger. And your brain is wired to avoid danger at all costs. When you speak, you're not just sharing words, you're sharing ideas, opinions, feelings, your identity. And at some point in your life, sharing your identity became unsafe. Maybe you were laughed at, interrupted, told to be quiet, ignored, or something you said once backfired. And back then, you didn't understand psychology or social dynamics. You understood one thing only: speaking is risky. So your brain learned a rule, not consciously, but deeply. If I stay quiet, I stay safe. And that rule became part of your identity, and identity always controls behavior. That's why your mind freezes before you speak, why you overthink every word, why you replay conversations afterward, because your brain isn't trying to embarrass you, it's trying to protect you. The silence you experience is not weakness, it's protection. The hesitation is not lack of confidence, it's survival behavior. And confident communicators don't think less, they fear less, because fear comes before thinking. In the first few seconds before you speak, your brain scans for danger, and if it finds old emotional memories, it pulls the emergency brake. Your voice drops, your breathing changes, your mind blanks, not because you don't know what to say, but because your brain decides now is not safe. That's why advice like just be confident or just practice more doesn't work, because you can't practice your way out of fear without changing the identity behind it. Your communication problem is not on the surface, it's buried in your self-image, and until that image changes, your words will always struggle to come out. So how do you fix something that feels automatic? The answer is not forcing confidence, it's teaching your brain that speaking is no longer dangerous. And this doesn't happen through motivation, it happens through identity evidence. Your brain does not change through thinking, it changes through proof. And every time you speak, even a little, you send your brain a message: this is who I am now. Most people wait to feel confident before speaking, but that's backwards, because confidence is not the cause of speaking, speaking is the cause of confidence. So the first shift is to stop trying to sound perfect, because perfection triggers fear by raising the cost of failure. Instead, aim for movement, not performance. Say one sentence, ask one question, make one small comment, not to impress, but to move, because movement breaks the freeze. When you speak quickly before your brain starts scanning for danger, you bypass fear. That's why confident speakers often speak imperfectly. They don't wait long enough for fear to wake up. The second shift is separating your value from your words, because right now your brain believes if I say the wrong thing, I lose value. And that belief creates pressure, and pressure kills communication. So you need a new rule: my worth is not on trial when I speak. When you speak with this mindset, your nervous system relaxes, your voice steadies, your thoughts flow better. Not because you practiced lines, but because you removed threat. The third shift is identity. You don't become a good communicator by speaking confidently once. You become one by seeing yourself as someone who speaks even when it's uncomfortable. Because identity is built through repetition. Every small moment counts, speaking even when your voice shakes, sharing an opinion even if it's simple, asking a question even if it feels obvious. Each action updates your self-image, and slowly your brain stops saying this isn't who we are and starts saying this is familiar now. That's when communication becomes natural, not loud or dramatic, but effortless. You don't need to speak more, you need to speak earlier. Earlier than fear, earlier than doubt, earlier than overthinking. Because the first few seconds are your window, and if you miss it, your brain will protect you with silence. So when the urge to speak appears, move immediately, not perfectly, not cleverly, just honestly. And over time, your brain learns a powerful truth: speaking didn't hurt me. Once the brain learns that, fear dissolves and your communication improves, not because you learned better words, but because you became safer inside yourself. You were never bad at communication, you were just protecting yourself. And now you're teaching your brain that protection is no longer needed, and that's when your real voice comes out. If this video helped you understand why your voice disappears and how to bring it back, comment below, "I speak before fear." Because this isn't just a comment, it's an identity signal. And if you want the next part where we break down real-world speaking situations and how to handle them calmly and confidently, subscribe, because your voice was never weak, it was just waiting for permission.